5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, hippies, hither and yon. How's your day so far? I hope it's a good one. Today's cookie is of a distinctly deadly variety that has to do with Troy Davis, who still seems to be alive. Apparently, the U.S. Supreme Court ordered a delay, though not a stay exactly, in his execution. This did not, needless to say, come from the state of Georgia, even though there was always substantial doubt, almost from the very first, that he was guilty of the crimes for which he was supposed to be executed on Wednesday night. Troy Davis was just a really unlucky man. You just about can't get into deeper trouble in the South than being a black man with a record, which basically every young black man has, accused of killing a cop. And that was, in 1989, Troy Davis's plight. The police in Savannah, Georgia, weren't going to take any particular care to see that the exact niceties of the law were too rigorously followed, and that the principles about uncontaminated testimony and or identification or evidence were all that strictly or scrupulously observed. And neither the DA nor the trial judge were overly fastidious about what testimony was included or excluded. They had a dead cop and a black suspect, and that was enough in Savannah, Georgia in 1989. The thing is, son, some Negro had killed a cop. Some Negro was going to have to pay, if not for his sins, as a lesson to the other potentially murderous Negroes in and around Savannah, Georgia, to leave white cops alone. Witnesses recanting, accusations of police intimidation, and scores of trial errors, along with the pleas from concerned citizens all over the globe, and Amnesty International gathered 650,000 internet petitions. None of that swayed the Georgia Board of Pardons and Paroles, as I suspected all along it wasn't going to do. As far as they were concerned, as soon as this became a dang liberal cause, those cracker spines on the Georgia Pardon Board were going to go plumb rigid. They'd execute that boy if they never did anything else. More than 60% of Americans still support him. Capital punishment is supported all across the country, and most of those people support capital punishment even if they had incontrovertible evidence that the innocent had sometimes been executed, according to a study I saw reported about 15 years ago in The Nation, I think, and I wish I could find it. That level of support remains, I suspect, mostly because that percentage of people do not expect themselves ever to be facing an unjustified death penalty, or even a death penalty of any kind, frankly. Because that sort of thing doesn't happen to our kind of people, except I guess it does once in a while, because down in Texas, around number 175 of the current Perry record-breaking onslaught of official bloody mayhem, when relying on an overzealous prosecution and flawed forensics, a Texas jury convicted and sentenced to death, and the state of Texas then executed a man named Cameron Todd Willingham for allegedly committing an arson that killed his children. He was, in fact, one of us. So it happens, but so infrequently at it's memorable. Besides, Justice Antonin Fafunculo, the big cannoli Scalia, says that if procedures have been scrupulously followed, actual innocence is no bar to execution. No, really, he said that. I've seen posts on the Facebook all day and actually all weekend vilifying St. Barry for not intervening in the matter, but I think that's specious and dishonest, because the Obamster can command drone raids does not mean he can order Georgia to release a prisoner. He can order you shot on sight if he deems you to be a threat to the national security, but he has no authority to intervene in Georgia if Georgia wants to commit capital punishment on one of its citizens. Those two things are not even in the same universe of discourse, and besides, he's culpable enough for the sins of omission and commission in the normal run of things. There's no need to blame him for things about which he's really impotent. Anyhow, that's how that cookie crumbles for Troy Davis yesterday. Now, don't forget to go by the store and pick up some worldwide hippie stuff. The Too Cool ampules and t-shirts, bumper stickers. I got one of them right around here. There it is. So that's so I'll know you when I see you at the beach, babies. Bye-bye.